Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I am Evil Mike. I have another review for you. Of course, that's what I do, right? This is Aftershocks Beyond the Breach, issue number 3. This is written by Ed Brisson, artist by Damian Couceiro, colors by Patricio Delpeche, and letters by Hassan Otsmane-Elhaou. I know I mispronounced a bunch of those, and I apologize. I try and do my best, and that's kind of fun of reading the author and writer's names, because, I mean, if I don't know how they're pronounced, I try to sound them out the best, but I do apologize. But, okay, for those of you who don't know, Beyond the Breach, if you have not watched my previous videos, it's basically like all of a sudden a rip in a sky opens up in the world, and all of a sudden there's crazy creatures just killing people, and that's basically it. We are invested in Vanessa, Dougie, and Samuel at this moment, with Samuel's giant turtle. And at the last issue we found out Samuel might not have been so holy and everything, or a good guy like he had seemed. Mr. GoTA right here, and if you don't know the reference, check the description. I will drop a link to this singer that I think this guy looks like, but in a second I will point out how well he looks like that. And let's get a little zoom in right there. Let me, my camera zooming in on that dude's face. Okay, so anyways, hopefully no copyright on that. Anyways, in the last issue we found out that some bounty hunters, or like intergalactic lawmen as they are trying to state, are showing up and accusing our guy Samuel of being a murderer and a intergalactic criminal. Samuel stating that he is not. At this point in the comic, all that has been shown from Vanessa and Dougie, like from Samuel, is, I mean, he showed up and saved them. He has protected them. Currently, he is risking his life to try and save the little boy. That's where he runs into these humans, where we are at right now, because the boy did suffer a concussion, and everything he shows has been nothing but a good guy. But these guys show up and basically state if they don't turn him over, that that they're gonna just start killing everybody and come in and get him. The humans instantly want to hand Samuel over. They don't know who he is. They don't trust him. He's an alien. Screw that guy. And we worry about ourselves, kind of thing. Vanessa does jump in, and she's like, whoa, 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 and she states just what I did. And the guys, the humans, they kind of like one by one, they do start to get her side of the things. And the whole time Samuel is just like, man, I don't want y'all to die, please just walk away from this. He even states at one point that these people are not who they seem, that they're not going to let you walk away, so you might as well just do either way, give me up, or we fight and maybe get rid of these guys. We do find out that these guys just really don't care, and Samuel was correct, and they just start attacking everybody. They end up killing one of the humans instantly, and after that, it's pretty much like a free-for-all from both sides. Samuel instantly jumps in, and as you see, it's like one of the weirder parts. It raised a big question in my head, but as you can see to the detail in the comic, when he does kill the two like bounty hunter people, and when they turn out to be like, oh, I'll get there in a second, but it's the detail in their blood or whatever, it looks like digital to me. I don't know if that has to do with the breach. I don't know if that has to do with the sword that he is wielding. I know it's not the sword, because we get here, and the last guy, the guilty guy, does catch up with with Samuel, and he gets behind him, and he's about to, he's like, man, lower your weapon and come with me, blah blah blah. And we do see that another random human, which turns out to be a sheriff, shows up and saves Samuel, shoots the guy in the shoulder, and we see that same digital, looking like blood or something. Nothing is explained. At that point, that Gautier guy just, he basically whistles and calls for the mounts that they were using, some kind of creatures. I mean, there's 3 of them as they escape, and of course his 2 friends are dead, or teammates or whatever have you. So we do get the meat of the story here. We catch up with Vanessa, and she don't know what the heck is going on. She knows what she's seen from Turtle and Samuel, but at the same time, some of the things that the guys stated sounded true, like he is a war criminal type thing, and he kind of goes in this thing where he's from, like war was just like here, and some guys came in, they found Samuel's people and his group that he was a part of, and found that they were like hunters and farmers, and basically came in and they were like rich with resources supposedly, and this group called the McCain eventually came in and like basically like tried to take all their resources, and they tried to weaponize everything. And so basically Samuel is a part of this like rebellion type group that developed later on, but not necessarily, because we haven't got that far. He explains in the story that during the campaigning, when the McCains were taking over him and his people, that he had the chance to do something, and he fled like a coward, and now he is making up for that decision. But he does state that some of the things they said were true, because they are part of some kind of like intergalactic government or something, and they basically just found his planet, and they were like, hey, now you're owned by this government, we're gonna take everything you got, and so basically the way he sees it is they just created these laws, and he's just guilty for defending his planet type thing. Vanessa, kind of instantly believes, in him and stuff like that, because of all his actions that he's shown, and we do see that that Dougie finally does wake up after being knocked out in the previous issue, and she kind of goes nuts in her rejoicing, and they are kind of limping around the fact that Dougie's parents have been killed, and they want to find some of his relatives if they have any. They do have this moment where they're slowly trying to ask Dougie about any of his family members, and we do find out he has a grandfather and grandpa, but they are all the way like in New York, and currently we are in California because his family was on kind of like some kind of road trip or something. They do come up with the plan to actually make the journey to go all the way to New York or somewhere on that side of America. And they basically state, is it worth the journey type thing, and they're kind of like, well, I mean, just sitting here, and Samuel kind of explains like, hey, these guys are going to come back, and if we just sit here, it's just, I mean, no matter where we are, they're going to come and get us, and this time he's going to come with more soldiers now that he knows I'm here type thing. So they start out on their journey, and as they start out on their journey, they don't get too far into it, because they encounter this right here. And you talk about one of the craziest mind, like questioning, blown open, like, but we come to this scene right here, and he, as you see right here, he runs over, and he is instantly, saddened, and we find out that these are his people. Somehow these were the ones that he was talking about, and we find out even a little more, because he goes into the detail of something about he was the cause of this. So we're kind of learning that he might be the cause of the breach altogether, that something he did, caused this breach, and somehow like sucked his people over, and they just, maybe they didn't do well in our atmosphere type thing. They do look like, aquatic type thing. Maybe they got there and they couldn't get to water quick enough. We don't know. They do reveal a little bit towards the next issue with the cover and description, but it's pretty much kind of like just what I said. It says the origin of the breach is revealed, Samuel's dark, bloody past along with it. I cannot emphasize what a good read this is. It is I would say, as far as the reading is concerned, it's very light, easily taken story, so which is really nice. because it, written by someone else, it could be like overly complicated. At this moment, it is just a fun read. I love the world that they're building. The breach between the worlds. I'm invested to find out what caused the breach type thing. I'm really interested in the effects of his weapons towards the enemies type thing. But the art, the story, it was a banger. Like, comment, subscribe. I got more coming. All right, guys. I love you all. Thanks. Bah.